Okay, so this is Ringwalk Media. We're up in Newcastle for the Wasserman Fight Night. It's a lovely, lovely day. And, you know, we're here with a fantastic fighter, Jay Byrne. It's really, really nice to see you, mate.
How are you, Jonathan? How's things?
Oh, that's Jonathan. That's Screamer and Big Mark. The pair of them. Terrible. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Now, listen, you've got an interesting fight this evening. How are you going about sort of planning for this fight? Because it's an interesting one.
Yeah, prep is being done. Pete watched them. Screamer actually watched them. A couple of people close to me watched them, and they all says, you know, if I prepare properly for it and do as I'm kind of shown and trying, and it's definitely be a winnable fight for me. So that's what I took it.
Well, listen, let's go back to your career just to start with, because you know a few people might not know your face. You know, you've had what, 18 fights. You fought some fantastic fighters throughout your career, including Josh Kelly, of course, who's main event tonight. Felix Cash, Anthony Fowler. You know, it's been a good career, isn't it?
Yeah. Again, I come into boxing late. Come in at 28. Never boxed as a kid. I done a brief spell when I was about 18, 6 months. It was more just to calm myself down a bit. I was getting a bit of trouble on the streets. Went to the boxing club, done about 6 months, broke my hand, gave it up. Went back in at 27, 28, and to me, when I was asked to fight Felix Cash, it was like me. Like I was 4-0, but I'd only fought journeymen. You know what I mean? I was shocked that I was getting the opportunity to fight on Sky. Sure, I sat and watched the shows every Saturday. Didn't even ask who the opponent was. I just said, yeah, I'll fight. That's kind of been my mentality. Probably a bit stupid at times, but again, when I played football, I was playing at, like, played a little bit of League of Ireland football, but Leinster Senior League. If I got asked, would I like to play, you know, Wrexham next week, or would you like to play Real Madrid next week? Every footballer would say, oh, Real Madrid, I want to play against the best. What seems to be in boxing that people duck the best and fight the easiest opponents, and a lot of managers, promoters build boxers' careers by protecting them and wrapping cotton wool around them and keeping them away from certain fighters and the whole lot. I just don't think that's sport. I don't think that's the way it should be. In my opinion, everything you do in life, you should always strive to be the best and try get to the best. You might not be the best, but if you can get to the best level or get to the highest level possible for you, well, then you feel like you'll have achieved something. Like, I could be sitting here now 18-0 after fighting a lot of journeymen that never came to win, and I'd look great on paper. Oh, you're 18-0, you know, you must be fighting for something big, or must be near enough world level and all. But sure, then you step up against someone and you get taken out, and where do you go from there, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's testament to yourself. You started boxing at 28, which is pretty old, isn't it?
Yeah, keep getting told I'm old actually this week.
I mean that you're old, but you know what I mean. It's pretty late on to start boxing.
No, it was I got asked to run a white collar event for a fella that actually hurt himself, and I said, yeah, I do. I started training a group of lads, and when the white collar ended, I was doing a bit of sparring and a bit of getting in and helping the lads out and the whole lot through it. And when it was over, the lads asked me what was I doing. We needed to keep training, and that's how I just opened a boxing club, and I just kind of rolled it, and I started getting in, doing some sparring, and then I went out to Crumlin Boxing Club, Philip Sutcliffe, and he asked me, it was a June bank holiday weekend, and he asked me would I...
Sorry, we're getting interrupted by Mr. Lee. Yes, naughty boy.
But yeah, he just asked me would I jump in and do an exhibition with one of the coaches. I jumped in and done it, and from there I just got the urge to start trying a bit more myself, and done the likes of the novices and things like that. And yeah, that was really how it started. Like, it was kind of fell into boxing. It was never like something that I wanted to go and do, but then when I got into it, I would be a very dedicated person. Once I put my mind to something, that's it. It's all in. I don't cut corners.
Of course, you train in a fabulous gym down in Dublin, Peter Taylor's gym. You've got the likes of Jazza Dickens in there, Senna Kelly, Sean McComb, you know, all those guys, plus all the team that are around them, who are all crackers, by the way. What a great atmosphere and a great place to be training. Yeah,
again, I feel like I've come on massively in the last 6 months, and it's down to the lads you've mentioned, like, you know, Tyrone McKenna, another one, Tony McLean. There's so much talent. Paul Ryan, so much talent. The only problem is every single one of them are southpaws, which is
bloody awkward.
One of them, yeah. But yeah, no, look, it's a fabulous gym. I personally think Pete is the best trainer in the country. I think he stands out from the rest. I think his attention to detail. You know, he could go into the first round of a spar and you could be getting caught with shots and things like that, and he just says 1, 2 small little things in the corner, you go out in the second round, you win the second round. You know, I think his attention to detail is fabulous. I think even the lads, he'll be doing some tic-tac with the lads, and like I was with Sean McComb recently, and like he took the time to stop in the middle of doing a drill to give me a little bit of, you know, help on, because I wasn't doing it exactly right, and Sean was able to tweak 1 or 2 things, and I found it so much more comfortable in the whole lot. But there's other gyms you go into, and if you're doing something wrong, people don't care, they take the head off you, you know what I mean? So it is, no, it's a great gym. You know, it's an honour to train alongside all them lads, it really is.
Well, and there's a good atmosphere there as well. They do take the mickey, but they do work hard, and we've seen it firsthand, on both accounts actually. Now listen, let's go back to fight night here in Newcastle. A little bit of needle yesterday at the weigh-in. What was all that about? Because he went for him a little bit.
Yeah, look, I'm a nice fella. I feel I'm a nice fella. I've always got well respected in the sport. I've always treated every opponent. If you look at every weigh-in I've done, I've always shook the fella's hand, wished them the best of luck. I've never been disrespectful to an opponent or an opponent that might have been talked about, that I might be fighting. I've never disrespected anyone. Got up to the scales, and you know, I'm ready to go, like, you know what I mean, and the fella starts mounting, like, you know, are you ready for a beaten old man and all, like, you know, I don't mind a bit of crack, but I just felt it was disrespectful, and I would have had a go at him there and then. Like, again, everyone knows me, boxing hobby, it's not my be all and end all. I don't need the money from boxing to pay the bills. You know what I mean? I would have went for it there and then, not a bother to him. I won't have anyone disrespect me. Doesn't matter who it is, where it is. It could be on a weighing scales in a boxing weighing. It could be out at the car. It could be in the lobby of the hotel. I don't care. If someone disrespects me, I'll stick it on them. And that's just the way I am. I'm a nice person, I feel. I'm a quiet fella these days. Back in the day I wouldn't have been, but I am now. And any little 23-year-old fella wants to stick it on me or wants to try to get disrespectful, I'll break his jaw there and then. It wouldn't have bothered me.
I'll tell you what, it bodes for a really good fight tonight in the right circumstances in the ring, and I've got a funny feeling this one might not be a very long fight. I think it's going to be a very, very good, fast, entertaining night, which is good for the boxing fans.
Yeah, I was disappointed. It was supposed to be a 6-rounder and it was pulled back to 4 rounds. Disappointed in that. Being straightly honest with you, I don't think this fella has balls. Now, he could prove me wrong tonight, but I've watched his fights, I've looked at some sparring and stuff like that. It's all great and well when there's lads standing in front of you with their hands up, just wanting to be hit. They're there to get paid and get out of there, and that's what they're there for. I'm there to fight tonight. I'm there to win tonight. I'm coming at him tonight. So
well, we can't wait for that, mate. There's a couple of your stable mates about to fight for big fights as well. Jazza Dickens this time next week, be defending his IBO. Was it IBO or IBF? IBO, yeah, I got it right in the first place. His IBO world title. He's over in Dubai now. That's going to be a good fight, and he's well deserved. He's waited a long time, hasn't he?
Yeah, Jazz is he's an absolute gentleman. Like, he's you know him yourself personally, but he's brilliant. Even the presence he brings to the gym, like, he works so hard, but he's just, even you look up to them. You look up to them lads, like, you know, the work they put in. Even when Gary Cully's training, or the levels they go to in training, but Jazza, yeah, he's a great guy. I just wish someone on the zone or someone would grow us maybe the likes of, you know, I know they're all chasing Josh Warrington and that and the whole lot. You know, that didn't come off because Josh obviously forgot his balls as well, you know what I mean? So I just feel Jazza deserves it. He works hard, like, he leaves his family, he comes to Dublin, he stays in a van in Dublin, you know what I mean? He's dedicated his absolute life to this. He's not living in flash hotels and, you know, walking around in a Gucci fucking dressing gowns and all.
Well, he is, but it's a bit dodgy.
Yeah, it's a fake one. But, you know, he's a true pro, and he deserves everything he gets. But Sean McComb as well. Sean's out the week, 2 weeks after that as well in Belfast, August 4th on the Fela. Personally, I think Sean is the most technically gifted boxer. He's definitely the most technically gifted boxer I've trained with. I think he's just, no disrespect to anyone else I've trained, but I just think he's absolute special.
I think he's special. I was very lucky to be at his last European fight. You know, in the change rooms, watching the whole sort of build up towards the fight. I've never seen a more relaxed change room in my entire life. And then he went out there and went bang and just took his opponent apart.
Yeah, I went over myself. I travelled myself and the wife travelled over. Yeah, look, I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong to say this. Maybe it's not my place. But Sean, I don't think Sean has even shown half of what he shows in the gym on the big night yet. I just, you know, he had that one blip in his career, but I just don't think there's anyone has brought Sean's levels out in his game yet. That's me being honest. I think when he gets that bit of luck and he gets maybe a world title shot or up against a world level opponent, I personally think you're going to see the best of Sean. I think like he's so slippery and his technical ability is just next to none.
He's also got probably the best walk-on music ever, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's fucking comical, it is, yeah, it's brilliant, yeah. But that's Sean, like, you know, I mean, in the gym, he's so serious and everything he does is perfect, you know, even all his drills and all, he does them down to the T. As I said, he's willing to stop and take time to help you and things like that. And then it's like most people go into kind of, you know, panic mode a bit when the ring walks and they're starting to walk the ring, the nerves start kicking in. Sean just opens up and becomes a totally different person, has the crack going to the ring, then gets in, switches back on and off he goes then into what he does, like, you know what I mean? He's a credit to himself and his family, to be fair.
Well, listen, big event here, main event, Josh Kelly's fighting. Obviously you've been in with Josh yourself. What do you make of this fight? Do you think it's a fight that is a fairly easy fight for him, or do you think this is you know, a step towards perhaps a world title?
No, in boxing it probably is a step towards a world title, but if he doesn't get this lad out of here early tonight, I'd be very surprised. A man on the scales, I personally thought he looked like a 12 or 13-year-old boy. Didn't have great shape to him. I've seen him floating around here. Doesn't look like he's prepared him properly for a big main event fight either. Josh is very talented. His last fight against Troy Williamson, he looked excellent. If he brings that form into tonight against this lad, I could see this being over inside 3 rounds.
Yeah, I think that's the opinion of quite a few people, but this is boxing, you never know, do you?
No, that's it. Like, upsets do get caused, but there's no upset here tonight. There's absolutely no upset. There's no way they brought Josh to Newcastle as a main event and they brought anyone in that was going to upset him. This guy is not.
Another fight we're looking forward to, I'm not sure if you know much about the young lady, but Chloe Watson, signed to obviously Wasserman's from a promotion. She's got a new management and just announced the European title fight bid has been won by Wasserman. She's in her first 8-rounder. She's looking to impress tonight, and she's trained by Blaine Eunice and Ricky Hatton. You know, she's looking to make that big step. It's going to be a good night for her.
Yeah, it looks, again, it's a big stage, and it's great to see the women boxing coming through onto these stages, and like the likes of promoters and things going to push bids and push wars to get these big fights. I think that's testament to our own Katie Taylor. You know, I think she has set the benchmark for everybody and all the women in the women's boxing. You know what I mean? To me, in my opinion, the greatest Irish athlete of all time. But I definitely think she's paved the way. And like go back 10 years. Like Katie's pro now. I think 7 years maybe. You know, go back 10 years 11 years when Katie was winning Olympic gold. These are all the kids that sat and watched Katie win that gold medal, and they were the ones that were looking up to Katie Taylor and decided to go to boxing gyms because they're all only early 20s, you know. So people can say, oh, Clarissa Shields, like, go out, whatever she wants to say, and I know Katie lost the last fight, but that means nothing. Katie Taylor has set the benchmark for every one of these girls, and it's great to see this girl now tonight. She's after getting her big opportunity, and hopefully now she pushes on, and there'll be kids 10, 11 years of age now to be looking at her in her area and saying, and there'll be other kids in the arena tonight to watch Josh and to watch other people, and they'll be looking and saying, I want to do that, ma'am, I want to do that, dad. And they'll be in boxing gyms next week, the week after, all because of this girl. You know what I mean? And it's great. It's brilliant, it is. I'd say in 10, 15 years time, women's boxing will be huge.
I think it's going to be a bit quicker than that, but yeah, I get what you're saying. So listen, back to yourself. What happens to you next? You've had a good career so far. You mentioned yourself it's fairly late on now in maybe a boxing career. If you come in tonight and a good performance, are you going to carry on, or are you thinking that maybe this is time for a rest?
Nah, look, you see me in the gym earlier in the year. I was 220 pounds, a big fat oaf, you know. I had no fitness whatsoever. I came back just to get fit. My goal was to try lose 50 pounds. Had to come back fight at a heavier weight. Obviously, I was on my way down. Monday, just gone, I hit the 50 pounds. I hit the 170. And obviously, I weighed in yesterday, 168. That's 52 pounds gone. I've achieved what I came back to do. The boxing was a bonus. Ideally, tonight, I go out and I win and I end on a high. That's the way I'm thinking. The only thing that could really persuade me to stay on would be if when I got back I was told I was mandatory for the Irish title, you know, middleweight title or whatever, and I got the you know, I wouldn't say pick my opponent, but if I got to, it wasn't just, oh yeah, you can fight for it, but you're fighting him. If I got to look at it and go, you know, well, there's 1 or 2 or 3 opponents, who would you prefer, or whatever, something like that, you know what I mean? Rather than just go be in the away corner in a 60-40 fight or a 70-30 fight, because it doesn't interest me. Again, I don't need to box. It's a hobby. It's been a great hobby. It's been a sport that has done a lot for me, good and bad, but mainly the last 6 months. I was only talking to the wife last night, and she never liked me boxing, but she even said the last 6 months has been brilliant. It's brought so much togetherness between me and her, because she trains with me, and we are both in a bad mental state, you know, and now both of us are trying, both of us will come out the other side. We're both mentally good, we're both physically good. They had a great, my family, there was loads down there, 35 or so down in Waterford. They all had a great night out on the beer, great day out and night out on the beer, and there's 20 odd on a plane now on their way over now, and it's all me close mates that I grew up with from like 2, 3, 4 years of age, went to school with, played football with. It's all them, all their wives, my brother, and a few people in the gym that I train. They're all on their way over, and I'm sure they're already on it, but I'm sure they're going to have a cracking day. And you know, what more could I want, bar, as I said, it would have to be possibly the Irish title in front of me. Yeah, you're going to fight in 3 months or 4 months, Irish title against A, B or C. Yeah, that would do it for me. But bar that, tonight's the last night. Once I make the ring walk tonight, I'll have achieved everything I could have dreamt of coming back in the condition state I was in. And I genuinely think I'll go out there tonight and I'll beat this guy.
We're looking forward to it. Whatever happens, it's going to be a very, very good night, especially with all the support coming over. It's going to be a cracking night. It's a cracking card. It's 12 fights tonight, which is unusual this year. It's been a lot of cancellations and a lot of boxers not making weight and all sorts. So we're looking forward to this one tonight. It's going to be good. Now, listen, we're sponsored by Well Ice Therapy. So if you do carry on, we're going to get these guys to come over to Dublin and put the ice baths in for you, because they'll help you to recover.
Well, 100%. I own a gym, so put them in my way. I have a gym there, so they can come over and put them into my gym. No problems whatsoever.
Well, listen, it's been really good to speak to you, good to catch up with you, especially without the crazies in your gym as well. You know, the guys are really good, aren't they? And you know, it's really nice to see you in a good space, and looking forward to a good night's boxing, which is exactly what we all should be doing. So, brilliant. Listen, Jay, thank you so much for having your time, and we look forward to tonight.
Yeah, thanks very much, Jonathan. I really appreciate that.
You've got to pack that in, honestly. That's Screamer's fault, you know.
It's probably a nice name of Screamer, I give it to you, because it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it could have been. Listen, nice one, mate. Thank you.